Hi guys, this is Max here, back again with hopefully another great political video. And today we're taking a look at a very important topic. It has been around for a long time, and of course, we're talking about China. Now, that was supposed to be a funny reference, but actually, what I'm trying to talk about is a very, very serious issue. Because even though I do not usually like to talk about political issues themselves here on this channel, I do sometimes like to take one clear position, and I want to explain why I take that position. And when it comes to Sino-American relations, I'll obviously choose my country. The stars and stripes are flaming bright in my heart, and I believe in America. I want us to be a good nation, and I want us to have prosperity at home and prestige abroad. The United States of America is the only country I trust with being a world superpower. Now, I do not say America is perfect at everything it does. We are not. But we always try to be as perfect as we can to form a more perfect union. And we try to be, in a way, the sheriff of the world. We try to be the nation that has the best prestige, the best principles, and gives its best to make sure that other nations are free to rule themselves. That doesn't mean you have to use force. It just means you have to use your position as a world power to act on the best behalf of everybody within that world. And of course, America should not be the only big power. There needs to be a balance of powers to encourage competition, a sort of productive competition where everybody can push each other by trying to reach for new technological and economic heights. But I do want us, so we can be in a secure position, to be dominating that field of global powers. And unlike most people who say that China is going to overtake us, I'm actually very confident that is not the case. At least from a military perspective, America's might cannot be matched by anyone. The US Navy is far more superior in both numbers, personnel, and ships than the Chinese Navy could ever be. In an open ocean battle with the United States, China would lose almost its entire fleet, and American submarines, even in cases of war, could penetrate deep into Chinese waters and sink all of their ships. We have lasers that can take out nuclear weapons at any time. We're the only nation on Earth that has this technology. When a nuclear rocket is launched on US soil, we can just shoot it out with a laser. That laser has breathtaking precision and triggers the nuclear detonator, which would cause this thing to basically go up in 60,000 feet of altitude where it would not damage anything. The United States of America has that very good position we find ourselves in. And apart from that, we're also economically on a very good track. We need to make sure that we outdo all other nations on Earth in terms of economic growth. And yes, China is growing rapidly in terms of its economy, but you do not see the same growth rate in there that you have in India, for example. China grew very rapidly over the past few decades because they were very backwarded. But nowadays, they have reached a fairly modern standard. Of course, they're still going to grow in the future, but that doesn't mean that they'll overtake us. Also, there are measurements that can be taken against that. One policy by the Trump administration that was very bold, but that actually had good intentions and could have worked, was trying to put tariffs on China. But that alone won't be enough, because the United States is not the only market for China. They can go sell their product somewhere else. They're already trying to do so by setting up a new Silk Route project and making Europe more dependent on them. In fact, they purchased an entire harbor in Greece. No, a system and a measure that I believe would be much more effective than what the Trump administration tried is, in fact, a Trans-Pacific Free Trade Agreement. Now, how exactly does this work? We need to make sure that China is isolated in their most important market, which is East Asia. We need to have a free trade agreement with many Pacific nations, Japan, New Zealand, Australia, Vietnam, so on and so forth, that it assures free trade between those nations. Now, what exactly would that mean for America? Well, it would mean that American customers could purchase much cheaper goods from countries like Vietnam or Indonesia, and would no longer have to purchase goods that were manufactured in China. It would mean that China, which could no longer sell, and this agreement would also be beneficial since countries like Japan would no longer have to purchase Chinese goods since goods from the United States would be cheaper. That way, we can isolate China from a trans Pacific market exchange. Now, in order to summarize this thing, we need to fight for our national strength. We need to be economically and militarily superior to our enemies, China being the one first and foremost. We need to make sure that we are the most dominant superpower in the world for our own safety and the safety of many other nations. This might sound like a dream of American exceptionalism, but it is actually a fairly rational policy, because you may not misuse that power. You may not go to war in Iraq for busting up the stocks of some army companies. You need to be responsible with your power. With great power comes great responsibility. And I think that we as a nation are in the state of securing both of those factors. I really hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope that one or another person got touched by what I had to say and will now think about their own viewpoints on how our domestic affairs, particularly in Asia, should be conducted. Other than that, guys, I really wish you'll have a wonderful day. Yeah, I know you can do it. Have a good time, and see you next time. Max out. Don't forget to leave a subscription.